Hi, fellow Limeys. Bill here. I just thought I would give you all just a real quick update on what all's been going on with me, and just check in with all of you. I hope you all had a good weekend and a good Monday, because this is Tuesday, right? Uh, some days I don't know what day it is. Lyme brain. So I've had that nasty full moon week that we all had there. A week or two ago, and I had another sort of little relapse of the Lyme horrible mornings, I guess you could call it here. I had like 3 days in a row, um, actually four, four now, counting today, that, I just felt like I got run over by a truck in the mornings and just can't really move much until about 11 o'clock or so. So basically, have that back again. I had a little kind of break from it for a while there, but never completely a break from it. But it's come back again, and not sure why. The one thing I will kind of update you on and talk about, as you all know, I've been doing the whole antibiotic and herbal route for this thing for quite a while, and for a long time there, I was treating full time. And then we decided to take every other weekend off for a little while there. Did that for, I don't know how long, a couple months back. That was last summer, early fall. And then I did every weekend off for quite a while, for several months. And then we started backing off even more to where I was maybe only treating about half the time, maybe like 3.5 days on, 3.5 days off for the last, I would say, I don't know, since maybe around Christmas time. So, almost 2 months now we've been doing that. And saw my Lyme doctor last week, and she said we're going to try something new here. We're going to try to take a whole week off and see how I feel. So that's what we're doing. I'm still pulsing my herbal stuff, the same way I've been doing, just trying to continue taking it, but we're going to take off, pharmaceutical antibiotics here for a week or a week and a half, and just see how it goes, see how I feel. And because, our goal is to get me off of those. There's a place for them, and, I won't go into that all right now, but they're not real good on your guts. And as a lot of you know, I've done a whole lot of stuff as far as probiotics to accomplish taking antibiotics as long as I have. So, we're talking, I've been on them between 1.5 years and almost 2 years now, I think, if I looked. And, so the goal is, has always been, once I started feeling a little bit better, to start ramping them down and, eventually get off of them. So we're going to try this and see what happens. And so I just wanted to kind of update you on all that. And I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to say. There was one more thing I'm trying to remember. My Lyme brain's trying to remember here. Oh, so probably a lot of you have seen a lot of these, these summits, I guess they call them. There was a couple Lyme summits, and there was a parasite summit, and there was a heavy metal summit. And the one common theme that I noticed, listening to all these doctors and all these summits, keeps coming back to mold. And, every one of these summits, there's been multiple, experts and doctors that have talked about mold. And, I've always been wondering about it, and this building I live in, anybody that's seen my videos, especially when you see me walk around outside, you can see this is a fairly new building. It's only 14 or 15 years old, and it's, as you saw, if you've seen me walking around, the garage or outside, it's built on a slab, so there's no basement, no crawl space, nothing like that. And what happened was last winter, the landlords started having some trouble with their roof over on their house, which is next to me, that you've seen in my videos before. So they had to replace their roof, and they decided to do mine at the same time. Just so they would both be the same and they would match. So, you know, the roof that was on this building was only, you know, 15 years old at the most. So, you know, as far as I know, you know, never any leaks or anything like that, and so never any, you know, water problems that would cause mold. So I had always just been curious, and, you know, people have talked a lot about it. Well, what happened to me the other night was a friend of mine contacted me that I hadn't seen in quite a while. I don't know if I've seen him since I got sick, or maybe early on when I, you know, was just initially, you know, dealing with this whole Lyme thing. So it had been a couple years since I'd seen him. And he had, you know, seen all the stuff I post on Facebook and stuff about Lyme disease. And he has a friend who, you know, had gotten over Lyme disease, and they had some certain supplements that they had been using, and, you know, he wanted to kind of just get together with me and talk about it. It ended up being, you know, like a sort of like a MLM, I call them, you know, like a multi-level marketing company that he was dealing with some of their stuff, and he just wanted to get together with me and, you know, discuss it. And, you know, right now, as you all know, I'm treating Lyme on a budget, so that kind of thing is, and plus, you know, the time involved in trying to start a business and something like that is just not going to happen for me right now with my schoolwork and with the way I feel. But what happened was he walked in and sat down next to me, and he reeked of mold. I could smell it like immediately, like plain as day. Like it was absolutely horrible. And it threw me into a tailspin, and I'm wondering if that might be what caused me having these last, you know, few days that I've been feeling pretty rough. I had 24 hours there where it, you know, it affected my, you know, my head and everything, you know, as far as my throat and my nose and my sinuses, and I'd never experienced that before. And, you know, what I kind of, my theory that I'm thinking of is, you know, that was interesting that it happened like that, but I'm also thinking that might be a good sign, because if I was living in mold, I may have not had a reaction like that. You know, and as we all know with Lyme, so many of us are hypersensitive to so many things. You know, I've developed a chemical intolerance, you know, with different things, and, you know, colognes and, you know, household chemicals and things like that. But also, you know, was surprised to have such a sudden, huge reaction to just mold being on somebody sitting right next to me. You know, it must be in his clothes. I don't know if it's in his house or in his car or what, but it was very interesting, you know, that happened. So I'm hoping that's anybody, you know, chime in with your theories or with your thoughts on this. You know, I'm thinking that might be a good sign, you know, that I'm hopefully, you know, not living in mold, because I had such a drastic reaction, you know, to even just being around somebody that smelled like mold. So, you know, that was just an interesting experience that I had. So I just wanted to, you know, kind of throw that out there and see what everybody's thoughts and theories are on that, you know, on what your experiences are with mold, and just give you a little, you know, quick update on here on what I'm doing. You know, it's you know, it's still cold here in Pennsylvania. The weather's still kind of a weird roller coaster ride, back and forth between 50s and snowing every other day. It's, you know, that doesn't help matters for us Lymies. So hopefully we get into spring here and more of an even keel, even pattern with the weather, you know, and get feeling better, and you know, not have this crazy weather affecting us so much. And hopefully the last full moon is, you know, not going to be repeated the way it was. I guess they said that was some kind of super moon or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what, you know, what that was, but I know a whole lot of people had a pretty bad time with it. So I hope you all are recovering from that, and I hope you're having a good week, and I will talk to you soon.